Yo,
What up, what up, what up?
yo, it's Friday, March 25th. It's been a crazy week of sports, bro, and I'm very glad to see you, my boy, because we got a lot of stuff to break down.
We do. It's a beautiful day outside. It's a beautiful Friday. Entry to the weekend. What's better than hearing Radical Souls podcast?
Bro, people have never seen this. Like Chris said, Radical Souls podcast. I'm Daniel.
Chris, missing our super host, E, today.
Yeah, Ethan's gonna be missed today, because today is a very special day in sports because we got so much to talk about. Spring is starting up out here in Jersey, so we're feeling a little more energy than usual. But he gotta handle what he gotta handle. So he'll be here Monday, hopefully, and he'll be able to talk to us about the weekend because March Madness has been crazy, and we already see so many upsets. And last night they just added to the list of upsets, and me and you gonna talk about that because we didn't get to talk about March Madness because of the free agent show we did, and there was so much to talk about. But now we're gonna have March Madness today.
And there's gonna be a little sprinkle NFL in there, because there was some more stuff that went on. Well, some big stuff that went on, but we'll get into it.
We really have to. No, I don't want to talk about it. I'm hurt right now, and you just go help me with the healing process. You just go rub it in there.
I'm gonna just poke the wound while it's open.
It's alright though, because I'm gonna poke your favorite wound, which is the Knicks, and me and you got some mean wounds there. I'm wearing a shirt.
I had lifted the Knicks cap, and then I saw this cap, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put this one on. Knicks kind of got me frustrated right now.
Yeah, so we're gonna wrap up with the Knicks and talk about what's been going on with them and what direction they should be going into next year. So Chris, let's get into it.
Yeah. Let's do it.
March Madness, bro, has been absolutely insane. Do you want me to start from the beginning with the upsets, or you want me to start fresh from last night?
Let's start last night because I think people already seen. Obviously last week, we had just to give like a very basic breakdown. We had St. Peter's win twice, which nobody knew who they were. That's the big Cinderella story. I think you don't know that.
They know they were in our state that we currently in right now.
Yeah, if you didn't know that, you were under a rock. So you haven't been watching. Baylor lost, obviously, last Friday. Was it Friday or Saturday? I don't know. But I know they lost.
Saturday.
They lost. Who else? I would say big upset to Tennessee, to Michigan. That's really all that consisted of last week.
Miami, Auburn.
Yeah, I guess that's a bigger upset. But, for those that haven't seen my bracket, I had Miami going that far.
Yeah.
But as of Thursday, yesterday, Gonzaga goes down. No surprise. As me and Daniel were talking about prior to, it's like just bound to happen. They just have no luck. They have no. They're the number one seed every year and just tend to fall around this time.
Never fails, bro. Gonzaga in March is like your best bet to make some easy money on them losing at some point. And then, it's rare they make it to the final. If they make it to the final, it's because of something like last year where we had Mr. Jalen Suggs hitting a three for them to win the game. So unless something like that happens, you could bet on them losing. And they did it disappointing against Arkansas.
Facts. And Duke last night, too. Duke, not to change it up, but Duke looked low-key. Like, that was a close game. That Texas Tech Duke game.
Duke was in trouble.
Yeah, that was all. If they're struggling like that at Texas Tech, I don't think they're gonna make it. Next round. So that's interesting.
They're gonna crack under that pressure of having to help Coach K win that last national championship. That was my reasoning on why I thought Gonzaga would make it to the championship at least, because I don't know if Duke's gonna be able to handle that pressure of let's do it one more time for Coach K.
Facts. And they don't have the team for that. Just being honest, I don't think they got the same sort of firepower they did in previous years.
Yeah, Duke is known to have that one guy that you're just like, yo, that guy is that guy. Like, put the ball in his hand, he's gonna do it. Like Paolo Banchero, yeah, he's dope, but like I don't see him as that guy of put the ball in his hand, he's gonna kill somebody to win the game.
So, and let's see.
Arizona getting upset last night, losing by 12 to Houston, even though Houston's a pretty strong program every year.
Yeah. So, and I mean Houston Houston, I had him on a couple of my brackets going pretty far. I think they have a solid, just like overall, they have a pretty good big man. I don't know his name, but they have a pretty good big man and a strong core. So, I mean, they can go pretty far. I don't know if they're going, no, I don't know if they'll make it out the Elite Eight, but, or Sweet 16, but.
Josh Carlton. There you go.
There you go.
I mean, they're playing Nova. Nova's always a tough team because they're a team that has always been known for keeping people for 4 years. So that continuity always helps them coming down the stretch. And then, obviously the best players get drafted, but they I don't know. I know like all of us for the most part had Nova winning the whole thing this year between me, you, and well. So I do think that Nova now has that path to victory. Because then they'd have to play the winner between Kansas and Miami. And Kansas, for the most part, rarely ever advances past the Final Four, I feel like, unless I'm bugging.
You're not. No, I feel like Kansas is another one of them Gonzaga teams that around this time is when they'll, like today they're playing Providence. Like, I feel like it's I can see Providence beating them. Yeah, I can see Providence beating them. So, yeah.
Who's your favorite now?
Favorite still Nova. I'm running with Nova. I mean, I do have a little bit of love for, the Providence. I don't know. I really like Providence, but I don't think they'll go far. This is like the make or break for them. And I don't know, man. The rest of it's in the air. And we talked about it in the beginning of March Madness where it was going to be like that. Like there's no definite, like, strong team out there, it's coming to show now. There's a lot of upsets, a lot of teams winning by slithers. Like, so. How about you?
Nova. I still think Nova pulls it off. I do think North Carolina might upset Duke again. I wouldn't be surprised. But if that happens in the Final Four, that's probably going to be the matchup to watch just because does Duke get the revenge after Coach K lost his last home game in the regular season, That's going to have a lot of storylines. So, again, can Duke handle the pressure? But I still think Nova wins it all because I don't see them beating. I don't see them losing to North Carolina or Duke, honestly.
Facts. And tonight, St. Peter's plays Purdue. Are you excited? You going to be watching?
Yeah, I mean –
It's cool that they made it to the Sweet 16. You got to support a nice little Jersey team, even if you never heard of them before.
I'll be switching in and out depending how bad the Knicks get smoked by the tonight. But we'll talk about the Knicks later.
Yeah.
Let's open up the wound, Chris, I guess.
So if you've been living under, a rock the past day, you'll notice that the number one and number two best receiver in the league got traded. Mr. Tyreek Hill. And if for those that don't know and aren't watching the show, Mr. Tyreek Hill is one of Daniel Alba's favorite players here. You know what I'm saying? There was a hint rumor that he very much might go to the Jets early morning. The phone was going off. Tyreek Hill to the Jets. They're gonna come up with a trade. It's gonna look good. Blah blah. Blase comes up, pans out. He goes to Miami. So instead of
Zach Wilson,
Tyreek Hill going to the Jets. Now Daniel has to see Tyreek Hill 2 times a year versus Miami.
I love it.
So, how do you feel about that?
So, first and foremost, I'm very happy that Joe Douglas went out and was so aggressive. And he was about to be able to keep his first-round picks, which is probably the craziest part of that whole trade rumor because he was only going to give up his 2 second-round picks this year, like the 63rd, get back 103 or something like that in Tyreek Hill. Like, that would have been insane if we kept the 4 and 10 and added Tyreek Hill. And the Jets were the only team at one point, and it was Miami that came in like last minute, they said, and gave him a deal, and he pretty much had a no-trade clause. And obviously Tyreek Hill being in Miami all the time, pretty much saying, I'm pretty much from here, that's not going to help the situation. And, that state tax definitely going to help you stay as the number one receiver being paid. Because here in New York, the tax was gonna make him easily like the fifth highest paid receiver. Um,
Yeah, and his offices and all his little like brand and shit is down in Miami. So I mean, it was kind of a given. Like you could see not a given, but you could see why he would lean that way.
yeah.
So
But honestly, I'm not too upset because now we're not like I don't know how to explain. Like, so pretty much we're not gonna lock ourselves in with money with Tyreek Hill. Obviously, Tyreek Hill's the best receiver in the league. Like me and you have argued that, and me and you believe he's definitely top two, not number two. Um, so it is what it is. Like we'll move along. We got Elijah Moore. We have Corey Davis. Are they number one receivers yet? Of course not. But we have the number 10 pick. We have the number 4 pick. We could draft Garrett Wilson out of Ohio State, who's getting a lot of Julio Jones comparisons, which I wouldn't be upset about. Or maybe Seattle wakes up and says, yo, let's just trade DK Metcalf. He's our most valuable thing. And we can't move along with Drew Lock. So we need to figure something out with those picks. So
yeah,
maybe we go for a DK Metcalf. He said that he wants to be a leader for Seattle. I don't know for what. But
yeah, I can't see him taking over the helm. I don't think he's ready. He's a great wide receiver, but you've noticed this past year that, if his number two isn't, the same thing with any number one wide receiver. If your number two isn't as good, you're not as good. And, if you're a true number one, it doesn't matter who's under you. It doesn't matter, those things are irrelevant, per se. But, it shows that he's not ready for that sort of pressure. So I think Seattle's best bet is to kind of deal him out. I know he was talking about, I don't know if you saw the interview yesterday where they were talking about how he reacted to Russell Wilson's trade and, how they barely reached out to him and they called him like an hour before it was happening. And, he hasn't heard from him since. And he seems frustrated. And I was like, you don't come out publicly saying something like that unless you're kind of nudging towards, give me the hell out of here too.
yeah,
So, yeah, but with that being said, Tyreek Hill's contract is 4 years, 120 million. So it's one of those bigger contracts. You're talking about what is that, 30 a year,
yeah.
30 plus a year. So that's big money. He's I know they gave up a first round pick, second round pick,
A fourth and a sixth, I believe.
Yeah,
One more pick in there.
So the Chiefs now have a lot of extra picks.
They got two in every round. So they got two in the first, the second, the third, and the fourth.
Yeah, look at that. So I think they'll be all right. Hopefully, if they can pick the correct way. But yeah, it's I'm interested to see how Tua plays that offense now with Tyreek Hill in the mix.
I'm not worried about Tua, bro. Honestly, like Jalen Waddle is good, but most of his damage was after the catch. It wasn't like Tua was hitting him downfield where you're like, wow, like yo, this dude Tua's arm is crazy. He has the arm, but it's like very inconsistent. You'll throw a deep bomb once in a blue moon, it'll be inaccurate, and then you're like, all right, that was cute. Try again.
Facts. And I know in order for them to give him that 120, I know today they were talking about they had to restructure some guys' deals in order to move some players around. So, that goes to show that they got to be all in on Tyreek Hill. They got to be all in on that connection. So, because they ain't moving no more pieces around. That they moved all that they could. So, let's see.
Again, I wasn't crazy about it. Like, Tyreek was my favorite player, so that's why I really wanted him to be a Jet. But if Tyreek Hill comes out, we winning a Super Bowl?
No.
Will we even make the playoffs is the real question. Like, bro, the AFC is so competitive. Like, maybe we sneak into the last wild card, but I don't want to just be sneaking in to give up, assets and kind of lock ourselves in with money like that. Again, if it happened, cool. It probably works out. Zach Wilson has an arm. He has a number one receiver, like I told you, that he's been needing. And, all works out because we're on a bunch of cheap contracts. But looking at it, it's kind of like, yo, maybe we draft, those two players at the number 2 picks, because those are pretty much first-round picks because they're high second-round picks. Like, it's like 36 and 38 that we have in the second round. So that's literally the few kids that are going to fall out of the first round that should have been first-round picks that we could draft. So we might get 4 impact players and, versus one impact player in Tyreek Hill who, yes, he can make a difference, but overall we got a lot of holes to fill.
Facts. So, I mean,
I actually want to bring one thing up to you, Chris, because I know that you were very excited about this player, Valdez Scantling. You thought that he would, step
yeah.
up to be number one in Green Bay. He said, Green Bay, F that, I'm going to the Chiefs.
Yeah, I was very, if you listen to the last podcast, I was kind of excited for him to take the number one role. I was excited for him to, step into his making because I thought he's been good for the past like 2, 3 years and he's just flying under the radar because he's under Devontae Adams is number two there. So, I mean, I guess he'll try and be the number one now with the Chiefs. I don't really know who's the Chiefs like wide receiver now other than Tyreek Hill.
Juju, because they just
Juju.
signed him. So they'll use him in the
Okay.
slot. They got Travis Kelce, who is, more of a
Obviously,
wide
yeah.
receiver than a tight end.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess that would work out well, but I think I would have liked the connection with him in Green Bay a little better with Rodgers. But I guess it is what it is. We'll never see how that pans out. But what does Green Bay do now? What is Green Bay? You're gonna throw the ball to Cobb now?
They're going to have to trade either up to get a better receiver or trade back and try to get lucky in the second round to get multiple picks to see if they can draft like 2 or 3 receivers and see who they get to be the best out of that core. Because there's
Yeah.
nothing bad out here, bro. Like I really can't even tell you who a free agent wide receiver like T.Y. Hilton, I think is a free agent. Like you're gonna go with that? He's
Yeah.
injured all
Yeah.
the
Or
time.
Julio
Julio,
Jones.
AJ Green, like these are all guys that are at the end of their path. Great players a
Yeah.
few years ago, but now they're kind of supposed to be veteran presence in a locker room.
Yeah. I mean, is OBJ considered now still a free agent? Because I don't think he has signed anything with them.
He hasn't signed anything. It's very weird. They said they want to keep him with the Rams. I've been hearing rumors that he's open to going back to Cleveland
The
now that Deshaun
Browns.
Watson's there. That'd be a nasty duo. I'd be very happy to see that.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the Jets say, "Yo, we need a number one. Here's some money. Come back to New York." I don't know. It's a weird situation, man. With Odell.
I don't think he'll come back to New York in any
Oh no, he
capacity.
definitely won't because he's trying to
Yeah.
win another chip. But
Yeah. But I mean, if he's chasing that bag, they're always willing to throw it at him.
facts.
But
Do you like the
now
Chiefs'
that
chances? Let me ask you that last question. Do you like the Chiefs' chances now to even make the playoffs? Because I don't know. It's looking rough for them. I heard their schedule and it was bad.
I don't know. I don't think that signing really does anything for them. And yeah, that's a good receiver, but it doesn't make them elite. Obviously, they were a lot better off with Tyreek Hill, but I guess we'll see how the draft, plays out. How they do end up, drafting. If they end up drafting heavy offense, heavy defense, or I think that depends. And obviously, that really doesn't depend because there's no real draft. There's no real draft that really makes an impact for you to go from like, number 5 power ranking to number like 3 or 2. Because, you don't know how a draft is going to pan out. So
Yeah.
I think it's still going to be a tough road for them.
All right, bet. Just want to ask you that question. I totally agree with you, bro. We got to wait and see what happens to the draft. If they don't draft well, they are definitely screwed for the next 2 years.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, I know that this person just always brings up a funny memory in my mind. Where do you think Bobby Wagner is going to go? Because he's like the number 1 free agent right now.
It's weird, bro, because Bobby Wagner, like, I heard he was going to talk to the Rams. If he goes to the Rams, that defense is going to be absolutely disgusting. He can easily be an impact player in the middle of the field. They'll have Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, and Bobby Wagner. That's absolutely wild. It really just comes down to, do you want to win another chip, or do you want to kind of just go somewhere where you can be comfortable and be happy, like – really just depends on him. I do think the Rams is a good idea. If he's willing to just take less money and win a chip. If he's not, I've heard rumors of Buffalo. I'm not super crazy about that.
I've heard Denver. I've heard New England, and I think Baltimore. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
but I really wouldn't mind. I don't know Denver. I think I don't know.
They need that leader.
They need, after Von Miller left, I don't really see that too much of a strong defense, that leader on the defense. That would be a good, and as much as I hate New England, that would be a good.
Nah, I'm good. You're not an AFC East fan. You don't got to see that twice a year. I'm good on that.
Yeah. So I think fit wise, that's all right. I don't know about Baltimore though. I guess that would work out. I don't know. But.
I guess he'll replace the Ray Lewis.
Yeah, but
aspect of that team because they need like that middle linebacker that could be a leader and kind of mold everything together. And that defense is pretty solid. They just had a lot of injuries last year, so
yeah.
I don't know about the offense helping them win games though for you to win a chip, but
yeah.
So I think the Rams, Ravens, or Broncos. I like those three the most, just because I'm a hater and I don't want to see him be a Patriot. So, Mr. Chris, let's wrap up with the Knicks. Mr. Julius Randle has been out the last 2 games. Obi Toppin had a really good game against the Hornets where he had 18 points, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists. He had a decent game against the Hawks. It was kind of weird. Todd Gibson was out here playing more minutes than him like usual.
Yeah.
And he still finished with 10 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. RJ Barrett, rocking a shirt, repping RJ today. He's been very solid. He has been showing us more and more that he was the number 3 pick for a reason. He's looking like our own all-star. And Emmanuel Quigley's been, like, pretty much all our young guys have been developing. They've been looking really good without Julius Randle. So let me ask you, what should the Knicks do with Mr. Randle?
I'm going to say 2 things. Number 1, you get rid of him and you get picks in the offseason. You get picks, you keep drafting, you keep doing what the Knicks have been doing right. Because if you're a Knicks fan, the 2005 to 2013-14 Knicks, all they were trying to do was, get a signing, get this huge name in the door. We all buy jerseys, we all get hype, and they all pan out to be nothing. So you go get picks. You find yourself, because obviously they were looking for a general. They were looking for a floor general. They were looking for somebody to, be the number 1 guy. Obviously, Kemba Walker wasn't it. Obviously, Julius Randle's not it. So you got to go back to the drawing board on that. You're not going to go back to Derrick Rose. That isn't a solution either. Alec Burks, I don't think is the solution either. So
definitely not. He needs to start running as a point guard. He is not a point guard.
No, not at all.
His last 10 games do not use Alec Burks as a point guard. Please, for the love of God, use somebody.
Either you're going to develop Emmanuel Quigley to be a point guard, to play a certain play style, because he's not playing that play style now where he can't be a floor general. So I think you got to develop that in the next couple of years. You got to keep pushing towards that if that's what you really want out of him. Or, you go and you break the bank and you go get somebody. You go get a De'Aaron Fox. You go get somebody you can sign for big money and go back to the same, old Knick ways. Or, you draft somebody. You draft a really good kid out of college. Hopefully you can draft up and get somebody. But no, I think Julius Randle's got to go, bro. Go get picks for him.
What's been your problem with Randle for the most part? Has it been the attitude? Has it been the way that things have changed so dramatically over this last year?
I was just going to say, I think it's the dramatic change one year to the next. Because it just shows you that, you gotta be a team player when your team's up here and y'all about to, contend, and your team's down here and you guys suck. You guys are not clicking, you guys don't have it. You still gotta be on that same level when you was up here. That just shows sportsmanship, that just shows, just shows character as a person per se. You can't switch up like that just because y'all are going through rough times, and that hurts his prospective future too. Because if you're a team on the outside looking in and you say, all right, this guy was extremely excited, extremely happy when, the Knicks were winning. Okay, that's cool. Anybody will be happy. But now this guy's over here starting fights every other game. This guy's pushing his own teammates out the way. This guy's, he's just bananas right now. Like, what is he gonna do? He comes to my team, and we have a little losing streak. He gonna start fights because we lose in 7 games in a row. 8 games in a row. So it doesn't play out too well for him, and especially here in New York. So
Yeah, we don't play that with our players. We like people that are out here fighting teams, trying to win, not fighting because they're down by 10 and you had a rough game. So let me ask you, Rex. I fiddle with this idea. Do you think the Knicks need to look at the playoffs and see what happens with certain players like a Donovan Mitchell? Like, so I threw out this theory to one of my boys. He actually liked this theory. I told him, yo, we should look at Jamal Murray. Now, that sounds insane when it comes out of my mouth because why would they ever trade Jamal Murray? The Denver Nuggets are in sixth place right now without Jamal Murray for this entire season. So maybe they
mhm.
think to themselves, yo, we got to pay Jokic after next season. He's going to be on one last year, and then he's an unrestricted free agent the following season. We're going to have to give him an extension if he wins MVP again. He's going to want a bag. So maybe the Knicks hit them up and be like, yo, we'll give you some picks. We'll give you well, not Randall, because, I don't know how that would fit with Jokic, but send Randall somewhere else, three-team trade, and somehow get a person like a Jamal Murray in here where his team might lose and they think to themselves, yo, we need to retool. We need a few more pieces, obviously. Maybe give up one person to get three pieces that can help us. You think, like, that's the route the Knicks should go? Is that an option for you?
I get scared. I get scared when I think of options like that. I don't like it. It brings back so many like just bad memories of just bad trades that have gone through, and like the Knicks giving up picks. And I understand the 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 dynamic of it, and like he's a really young player. You could still get a lot out of him if you could sign him on a good contract going forward. You can build around him, but I think it just depends on how many picks you're giving up. How many players from the development leagues you're giving up. So, which I don't even think they would take any of them. I mean, I think it'd be more picks per se, but I think it just depends. But I could see it working out. I could see it working out in the Knicks' favor. I got a question for you.
It's good.
What do you think about the Knicks taking a gamble on somebody like a Russell Westbrook? That's a big rumor out there.
It really depends, bro. Like, my thing is, if he opts into that contract, the Lakers got to give us something to take on that 40 mil because we're in a position where we can't even take that. We're gonna have to give them like Randall, Fournier, and I'm not giving up Randall for Russell Westbrook. Like, realistically, I
Yeah,
I'm sending Randall somewhere else, like you said, for picks. If we could trade, it depends the situation. Like if it's a Donovan Mitchell for Randall switch, I'm doing that in a heartbeat, of course. But Westbrook,
yeah,
if we could sign Westbrook, and he's like, yo, like just give me like 15 mil for 2 years or something, and we don't have Randall here, and we have certain players, I wouldn't mind it just because the type of player Westbrook is. Like yes, it's been a rough year for him on the Lakers, but I think it has to do more with the fit. And if he could play point guard and hold the ball a lot more, I think it would help him. The only thing that concerns me is RJ Barrett because RJ Barrett has had the ball in his hands a lot more now, and he's showing us like, yo, I could be that guy that y'all drafted. Like I'm here, like I'm here to stay. And I don't know how that dynamic would work between Westbrook and RJ. So it's a weird position, bro. Like it really is weird, just because like we need to get certain players, and it's just who at this point.
yeah.
What do you feel about Westbrook? I mean, I know that sounded like a really weird answer. Long story short, depends on RJ for the most part. For me,
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right, and I think it does depend because if they do get Russell Westbrook, they would have to get rid of. I would say that wouldn't be a pick situation. That would be they would have to deal some players in there. So you would talk about somebody like the Burks going, which I wouldn't mind.
no, of course not.
Uh,
Maybe some
somebody,
Kemba.
yeah, somebody like that. It's which that in that case that doesn't bother me at all. Maybe you throw in Derrick Rose in there too if you want. I don't know if they'll take that, but yeah, I wouldn't mind that if you can get him to restructure that contract, but I don't think he will. I think he opted in. I think he's definitely leaning towards opting in, especially the way he's been playing. He got the option to cash the bag, worthy of that bag. I guess you're gonna go get that bag.
Yeah, facts. I
So
don't. My thing is like, yo, to take on that Westbrook contract, you got to give me picks, bro. The Lakers had absolutely no picks until 2027, so it's like, yo,
yeah,
I'm not taking on 40 mil just to take on 40 mil to help you to help us. Like, yo, you got to help me so
facts.
that I'm helping you because me taking on Westbrook might hurt my whole team, and I got to deal with that for a season. While you over there with all our players about to win a chip, and we not getting anything out of it really. So,
Yeah,
like I said, unless it's like a three-team trade where we get picked somehow and everything works out, cool. But I don't know, man.
yeah,
Westbrook
yeah.
saved
No,
us.
facts. Facts. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I know that was that's been a Nick rumor for a minute that they were going to get him. So I don't know. I think definitely. Do you think that the Knicks make a little stink that they did, like this past offseason where they really didn't do much, or do you think they move some pieces around?
They're gonna be busy, bro. They have to move Nerlens Noel. That's for sure. This dude, that was you remember I wasn't crazy about that signing when I saw it, and I was right. That was probably the worst signing the Knicks did this year. He's barely played. Jericho Sims looks like he could definitely handle the backup role. I get it on why they signed him and why Jericho Sims wasn't going to be their backup center because he's on a two-way deal, so he could only play, I think they said 45 games in
Yeah,
the NBA, so you have to send him down to G League. But for what Nerlens Noel was giving us this year, that was a waste. So he's going to be on an expiring contract. I'd say move him. They're probably going to move Burks because you have to play Cam Reddish somehow. And Evan Fournier's been their best shooter from three this season. So I don't unless you see more value in Fournier, you can get more back. I don't see them moving him. I see them
that's
moving Burks. I see them moving Noel. Kemba, they're probably going to move because he has a player option unless he doesn't take it. D Rose, they're going to have to keep as that veteran presence. You know, Tibbs needs D Rose on his team no matter where he is. And
that's gonna end up being his assistant coach one of these days.
of
That's
course,
gonna be
him
what's the
and
guy in
Ty,
my what's the guy in Miami that's just
Udonis
always
Haslam.
there? Yeah, he's just always there. Like no matter what, he's always just gonna be in the lineup, even if they're paying him a veteran minimum to be inactive. I don't know.
Nah, bro, for sure. But yeah, they, like you said, they got to figure out what to do with Randall. It's at the point where I don't know what's going on in his life. I don't know there's something going on behind the scenes that's not basketball, but they got to figure something out. I,
Yeah, and I'm
the most I'll give him is maybe till next All Star break, just to see if we can get his value up the littlest bit. Because right now
yeah,
you wouldn't get the same value from him. But
no.
I don't know
We
because I don't want his value to tank even more next season.
we said that shit last year. We said it. You should have got rid of him right there, right when he was high. At the end of the season, where he was looking good, morale was high. Should have shipped his ass somewhere and got a few picks. Because I mean, do you really need like you when you deal Randall, you don't really need that much because you got Obi Toppin that is really
I
promising
mean, bro,
behind
you
him.
drafted him with the number 8 pick. You did not get a point guard, aka Tyrese Halliburton, and drafted Obi Toppin. And when that happened, like I'm gonna say it again, me and you say this every time we talk about this. You literally said at that moment, Randall's out of here. That was the first thing out your mouth. You didn't even say I'm glad about Obi Toppin because I remember how excited you were to draft him when you heard the rumor. You said Randall's getting out of here, and they did
Yeah,
it. And now look where we are. We're stuck in a really weird position where
yeah,
now, like you said, his value has taken a hit, and you might have to bite that bullet because you're never gonna
yeah,
get back that value unless some way, shape, or form next year he shows again signs of life. But are you gonna trade him? Like, if he does what he did last year, next year, like
yeah.
me and you
It's
would be willing to do it in a heartbeat. But I don't know about the front office.
yeah, and I mean he just signed that contract last year, which was a big contract. That was a big extension. So that's another conversation you got to have when you're moving him. Who is someone going to take on that contract, and the Knicks going to still pay it? That's because that's big money. It's over. I know it's over 100 million for some 3-4 years
Gonna
that he had
like
recently.
20. It's in the 20s, I know, because
Yeah,
I remember when that contract came out. You said that's mad weird that he took 20 something because he could have easily gotten 30 if he would have played like that this year again. And now we
facts.
see maybe why. Maybe something was going on in his life. He foresaw what was gonna happen. He said, let me cash in real quick.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he did. I mean, still, I still think now looking, past that cycle where he was really good and a really ecstatic New York Knick. I think that over $100 million contract that they gave him was too much.
It was 4 years, 117. He's getting 29 a year. So, 29 towards the end. So he's getting 23 next season, 25, 27, 29, and then becomes unrestricted free agent in 2026. But
so you're telling me you got to keep paying him more as he is
it goes up
causing a detriment
every year.
Yeah, Knicks got to off that contract. So
we see the promise. Take advantage of it.
Yeah, and I mean he's still relatively young. You could play that angle. There's a lot of different angles you could play with Julius.
27.
So yeah, you got him at a discount till he's 30. You can tell the other team.
Pretty much. But let's see what happens tonight against Miami. You're probably gonna get smoked. But if Randle doesn't play, you're still gonna watch this game, seeing what strides and what promise we have on this team over the next 2-3 years.
So I wanted to bring up to you, we had talked about a little bit of it at the very, very end last week, or not last week, on Monday, about the vaccines, New York, the Yankees.
Yes.
How do you think that's going to pan out with the Yankees now? There's a couple players that aren't vaccinated, Aaron Judge being the big one. How do you feel about that?
Mr. Eric Adams said, we're done with that. No more vaccine mandate. Very happy about that in the sense of.
Really? I didn't see that. I didn't. Did I miss something? When did that come out?
Missed it on Wednesday.
Oh shit! That shows you how in the weeds of work I am.
It happened Wednesday night when I went out for my sister's birthday. As of when? It started yesterday, Thursday. So Kyrie will be able to play at home now. The Yankees will be able to play at home, and the Mets.
So
okay. Give your raw reaction now.
There we go. All right. I guess that's cool. I mean, it was all right. I didn't know that. For the audience watching, I was under the impression we were still under a vaccine mandate here in New York City. I have been living under a rock, as I say to other people. So
listen, it's good news. The only question I have, and I want to ask you this real quick, and then we'll end, on this note. Kyrie Irving has said that he was not getting a vaccine for the voiceless. Now, the vaccine mandate only stopped because they put an exemption on athletes and performers. So those voiceless that he was talking about still have to get vaccinated to work. Should Kyrie Irving be playing? If he's going based off of the reason why he didn't.
He's going based off of that, then no, you shouldn't. So this puts 2 and 2 together. All right. Because I saw a video of Eric Adams getting yelled at by some firefighter that wasn't vaccinated. So those people still can't work, but he could play basketball.
They exempted athletes and performers in New York City from having to get the vaccine. So Aaron Judge doesn't have to be vaccinated, who said, we'll wait and see. Kyrie said the whole voiceless spiel when he didn't want to get vaccinated. And
But he's going to play.
We'll find out when they play at home if he's going to play or not. Like I said, based on his direct comments, he shouldn't be playing, but,
Okay. All right. That's interesting. I wasn't aware of that. So now that I am, I will be paying attention, and we will be talking about this upcoming podcast.
For sure. So, let me double check real quick if he plays at home. I'll let you do your closing statements.
Let's see. So they played
Sunday.
Here we go.
The Hornets at home.
Okay, here we go. New York City. This is a statement from the New York City mayor. New York City Mayor Eric Adams said he wants Kyrie Irving to play at Barclays, but said making an unexpected exception for him as unvaccinated would send the wrong message to the rest of the city.
So he said what I said pretty much.
So he knows he's wrong, but he still want to see Kyrie Irving playing basketball. Okay. Yeah. I mean, not even to get into politics. Not even to get to politics at all, but you just think about it. I mean, you don't want to get vaccinated. That's whatever the hell you want to do. That's your life. You do what you want. But you're telling me I lost my job because I ain't vaccinated, but this guy can go make millions of dollars and go play basketball. I'd be kind of pissed too, but...
Nah, that's my main thing. You feel me? Like, I get it. If you don't want to get it, don't get it. It is what it is. But Well, is it a dumb rule? Yes, it's a very dumb rule how somebody out of state can come in without a vaccine, and that's cool. But Kyrie couldn't play.
Yeah,
You know, like I said,
that's it.
according to his statements, he said the voiceless. The voiceless still out here without jobs. They can't get jobs because they're not
Yeah,
vaccinated. That ain't added up very well for him.
math ain't mathing, as the kids say.
But Chris, we'll be back Monday. Let's see what happens Sunday, bro. Because you know the minute I see 1 minute in that first minute next to Kyrie Irving's name, we're gonna be talking about it Monday.
You gotta hit the little conceited beam.
All right, bro. I'll see you
All
on
right,
Monday.
bro.
Have an amazing weekend. To everybody listening, have a great weekend out there.
Yeah, too. Be safe.
Peace.